You're watching ABC4 News with Emily Flores, Glenn Mills, and Alana Brophy.
Members of Congress holding a hearing on the issue of overcrowding at national parks around the country, the problem impacting both visitors and the parks.
Yes, and while national parks, Utah has 5 national parks alone, our Representative Blake Moore taking the floor to express his concerns for our state. Washington correspondent Alexandra Limon reports.
The national park system is struggling to both protect the parks and manage a surge of pandemic visitors.
Some parks, like Yosemite, are national attractions. For parks like that, overcrowding must be actively managed.
Members of Congress, like California's Katie Porter and Utah's Blake Moore, are concerned about how crowd management will impact future access.
Can you expound a little bit on the potential of Zion National Park opening up new trails? Are you supportive of this? Have you worked on anything on this regard?
We have opened some new trails and we have some plans in addition.
Lawmakers also want to ensure the landscapes and wildlife people are flocking to see remain protected. Colorado Congressman Joe Neguse asked about the plans for implementing more reservation systems in 2023.
Which, as you know, has been used as a pilot in a variety of different national parks.
Well, it's not one size fits all.
Officials also say the national park system hasn't always had the resources it needs to address these problems, but hope that changes after a 22% increase in their budget from last year's infrastructure law. In Washington, Alexandra Limon.
Thank you, Alexandra. And one way to escape those crowds in national parks is to plan your trip during months that see fewer tourists hitting the trails.
That's what I always do. Right now, we are in the slow season for a lot of parks. Colder temperatures keeping crowds at bay. But visiting right now does not mean you'll be missing out on any of the beauty. Check this video out from Bryce Canyon National Park in southern Utah, one of my faves. Now parts of the main road are closed as crews plow the snow, though. Keep that in mind. The area is seeing around 2 inches of snow overnight.
Time now for Utah's most accurate forecast with Alana Brophy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
All right, I think Bryce Canyon is one of the top faves here from the station.
Yeah.
Isn't it one of your favorites too, Alana?
Bryce is nice. Year round, you can't go wrong. And I actually, go ahead, Glenn.
Even in the snow, the red rock looks so amazing.
It looks like gingerbread. Check it out. Okay, so a viewer who actually visited Bryce sent this in. Look at this Pucho. Hi. Look at that snow dog. I can't get enough. But also check out the red rock, the hoodoos. I do when they look like that. Just so pretty. And we are expecting more snow down there in southern Utah. Thank you to John Serlin for sharing that. In the north, it was a different story. It's the fog, and this is the fog layer from above, the Oakers. These are the peaks of the Oakers. Matt Solom catching this one in a plane, and you can see that fog throughout northern Utah. Just really cool shots. So a different story, a tale of two cities in the north than what we're seeing in the south. But we're not done with the fog. It is going to reform for your morning commute. We've got a storm for the south, bringing the chance of more snow, not just for Bryce Canyon, but the surrounding areas. We'll talk avalanche danger and that active pattern right around the corner. Okay, air quality wise, we do anticipate moderate air in Salt Lake County up to the Cache Valley area, as well as Box Elder and Weber County. Now, these areas are prone to fog because that water vapor condenses on the solid of the air pollution, makes it a lot easier. So tomorrow, air quality will be compromised in those spots. Bryce Canyon, how pretty are these skies? This is a live look right now. More snow on the way. Looks very festive. It's one of the areas looking at accumulating snow. Why? Well, here's the answer. We've got this upper level low, and it's been the weather key player for the last several days. It's tracking inland. It's weak, but it is pulling moisture inland as well, and that's why we're going to drag some of that into the southern portion of the state. That upper level low will aid in rain and snow for the overnight and into tomorrow. It also is prompting a winter weather advisory for the La Salles and Bajo Mountains down towards Monticello, Blanding. As a result, we're expecting 4 to 10 inches in those areas. That is in effect until 6 a.m. Not a tremendous amount of snow, but these are areas that don't typically pick up snow. So as you look, 1 to 3 inches in our mountain valleys. Loa, Panguitch, I'm looking at you. And we also know that Highway 89 from Kanab to Lake Powell will be impacted. Also, Utah roads 95 and 276. That's from Hanksville down towards Bullfrog, Big Water. All those spots could see some light snow. Area of high pressure in southern Idaho. But we're dragging that moisture in. Watch the clock in the corner of the screen by 11 a.m. it's in southern Utah, higher elevations. Valley rain, St. George could get some of that. We watch as that moisture surges further north towards Castle Country, just over the mountains near Utah County. Nephi could see some snow, and the Basin by tomorrow evening. That high pressure takes over, but doesn't stay for long. We get another front, a quick hitter of a storm on Friday. Here we are by noon for the Wasatch Front extending down towards Utah County. Moves through quickly, not tremendous, but a larger storm taking aim at us at the end of the weekend and into next week, and that does promise the potential of some accumulating snow, so a heads up there. Numbers in the 30s for tomorrow, another cold day, and we know that we're going to see that fog for the morning commute. 30s and 40s for the eastern side of the state, 38 in Cedar City, low 40s in St. George with the potential of rain. Speaking of, there's that Washington County 7-day. Now, we do have colder air that comes flooding in Sunday into Monday, which could bring some mixed precipitation to parts of Washington County. No way. Yes way. Here's a look at the Wasatch Front, an active pattern with snow potential as we roll into next week. So a heads up there.
Ooh, an exciting December.
Snow and the holiday music just goes together. At ABC4, we want to feature the houses that get decked out for the holidays. You know who we're talking about, your neighbors, your family. If you know the perfect place, we want to hear about it. Send the details to abc4.com/tipline, or you can call the phone number that's listed on your screen. We're featuring the houses every week until Christmas. You've got inflatables. You've got snow lights. What do you love?